Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and today I will walk you through some rounds of Stone Age Junior, which is a relatively lightweight family game really targeted at children. The package says 5+, but of course you can also enjoy it with older kids, but yeah, it's really a family game. I think I will not walk you through a complete session of the game. I will only demonstrate you a couple of rounds to make things clear, but overall it should give you a very good impression of how this game feels, and maybe you will see a little bit of the difference between its big brother Stone Age. So let's have a look inside the box. This is pretty much the setup for a 3-player game. It's not that different to a 4-player game. Of course, one figure is lacking, but it's a bit different to a 2-player game. I think there are a little bit less of those resources, but overall, that's pretty much always the same. And right after I recorded my introduction video, I noticed that the English version of the game is called My First Stone Age instead of Stone Age Junior, so apologies for that. When you look at the game board, it might make you think about its big brother. So Stone Age, of course, you see those huts, you see those resource bases, but it's really not a worker placement game. It's a relatively lightweight family game, or really more a kids game. So you're not really placing your workers, you're moving your workers in order to get those resources. But after all, the components are great. It's really a nice look and feel, and it's actually a lot of fun. Each player has his own little village here. This board basically serves two functions. For once you build those huts, and once you build the third hut, you are immediately the winner of this game. And the second function is you are allowed to hide those resources you gathered behind the screen. So the other player is not exactly aware of which resources you currently have and which huts you're aiming for. In order to build those huts, you need to collect the right resources. So if you want to go for this hut, you need 2 berries here, you need a tusk, a fish and a jar, and they're really all different from each other. And this is really a way to grab those huts from another player, something you would normally not do when playing with a 5-year-old who might get frustrated sooner or later, but it's theoretically a possibility when playing with older kids. Around the board you will notice those forest tokens here, and they would be placed at random and face down, of course, and they are being used in order to move your cute little meeple here around the game board. So you're not rolling a die, you're really, let's say, revealing those tokens, and those tokens will tell you where you would move to during your round. But that's pretty much all you need to know in order to start this game, so let's get started. And I think Blue will go first. He will reveal this tile. This tile shows a 2. And you guessed right, Blue will move 2 spaces along those arrows here. He will end his movements here at this hunting space, and there he would be allowed to grab one of those task cubes basically, and he will put that behind his village board. Then it's the pink player's turn. Yes, there's also a meeple for girls out there, or also boys who like to play with pink. So I think she or he will reveal this tile. This tile shows a 6. So let's move the pink player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces here to those fishes basically. Again, he or she would be allowed to grab one of those fishes, and that also ends her turn. Then it's a turn of the yellow player, and I think yellow will go for this forest token, and this forest token will send the yellow player directly here to the action space where those delicious berries are waiting for him. So let's grab one, and this was actually the very first round of My First Stone Age. Pretty fast, huh? So let's start again with the blue player. Let's reveal this token, and here Blue can directly jump here to those clay jars. So let's grab one of those. Then it's pink. And here Pink got himself another fish, but this also means he has to stay where he is, and so really getting a fish tycoon in some kind of way. So this is basically the last fish, and once all of those resources are gone on a single action space, this is pretty much it. But those resources will return once you build your huts. Then it's again the yellow player's turn. Let's reveal this token. So yellow is also in for one of those clay jars. So we are already in round 3. It's again the blue player. Let's have a look at this tile. Okay, here he has to move over to the hunting ground. So grabbing himself a second pair of tusks basically. So this is really something which is not entirely useful for him at this point in time. There are also huts out there that require 2 of those tusks, but right now the only doubled hut basically is only this one that needs 2 of those berries, but none of the players has 2 of them. So this is really something where you either have to wait or you can go to the market space here where you are allowed to trade your resources. Let's go over to the pink player. Let's see. And here pink is actually able to move here to the market space. And now you can trade any number of resources with the resources that are available here. And you do that one by one basically. So for one, whatever fish, you get one of those tusks. And yeah, I think you get the idea. And pink has 2 of those fish. And right now there is no hut available that needs those 2 fish. I think he will most definitely trade one of his fish maybe for a berry, because berries right now are very important. So let's put 1 fish here and bring 1 berry back to the pink player. But again, keep in mind, he could also trade both of his fish with 2 of the resources that are available at the market. Then it's yellow. Yellow will reveal this tile, and this tile will send the yellow player here to the town center. Normally you would be allowed to build a hut, but unfortunately he does not have the right set of resources right now for any of those huts, so he has to skip that building step. But there's still one more thing to do, and this is depicted by this little green icon down there, which tells us to put all of those reveal token face down again, and then you have to swap 2 of those tokens basically anywhere on the board. So let's go for this one here and place the other token up there. It's really a very challenging thing because you have to have a very close look before you put all of those tokens face down again. So whatever, give every player 10 seconds or so to try to remember the positions of the actions, and then you still have to swap 2 of those positions. I think for the average 5 or 6 year old who is very used to playing memory, it shouldn't be a big deal, but it's certainly a relatively interesting mechanic. Then it's the blue player's turn, and blue can remember where some of the action tokens are, and he really also wants to grab one of those berries, so he will reveal that forest token, which allows him to move there. Let's grab one of those berries. And then it's pink, and pink still needs some resources, so I think he will continue to reveal some of the tokens that have not shown up yet. So let's go for this one. And here we found the dog, which is pretty cool for him because this allows him to grab one of those dog tokens, and those dog tokens serve as some kind of a wildcard. So if you're running short of one of those resources, you can place 1 resource with 1 dog tokens. If you have both of them, you can use both of them if you like. And those dog tokens are also the only, let's call it, resources that other players can steal from you, which is also very interesting. And there are also distinct rules on who you are allowed to steal from and such, but I think I come to that in a second. Then it's yellow. Yellow was never actually very good remembering stuff, so I think he will just go for this tile. But this is great news for him because he can move 1, 2, 3 spaces and grab the last berry here. And keep in mind, now this space is empty and the next player to get there basically doesn't get anything. But for yellow, that's really great because he was able to collect 2 of those berries, which would certainly be enough to build that hut over there. And all of the players should be aware that the town center tile is waiting down there. So the next player who wants to go there can easily go there because, everyone has seen that tile.
Blue needs fish, and he knows that the fish is waiting there, so let's move him there. He will be able to grab the last fish here, which brings him to 5 resources in total. That's actually not too bad. He might be behind in respect to building actions, but he's already preparing his storage already, so this is definitely a good thing. And right now he should have enough resources to build this middle hut down there. But first of all, it's the pink player, and Blink wants to build, so he will definitely go for that forest tile. So let's move Pink here to the town center. There, she or he will spend all 3 of his resources, so a fish, this dog, and the berry, in order to build the hut here on the left. He could be now really mean and just trade in his dog and his berry and grab this hut from the yellow player. Keep in mind, he just collected those 2 berries because he was maybe really paying attention and seeing, hey, the yellow player will be able to build that hut, so let's grab him away from him. He won't be able to build anything during the next round. But that's now really depending on who you're playing with. I think you can frustrate a 5 or 6-year-old relatively easily by playing that way. So I think this is really totally up to you how you play it. But I think for now I will not do that. So I will stick to my original plan, a dog, which will replace this arrowhead here. Then the fish for the fish and the berry for the berry. So Pink will be able to build this hut. We will immediately reveal the next hut here. And so Pink has built his very first hut in his own little village. And again, as soon as one of the players achieved to build all 3 of his huts, he immediately wins the game. Needless to say that all of those resources will go back where they originally came from. So this basically brings resource rotation back to the game. And of course, we still have to put all of those tokens face down again. And again, we will swap 2 of those forest tokens. And here's really already some room for house rules, for example. So you could really agree on not just exchanging 2 of those, but maybe 4 of those or 6 of those, really depending on your level of experience in games like that. And normally, the average 5 to 6-year-old should be pretty hard to beat in games like Memory. Then it would be the yellow player's turn. Yellow also knows where this hut is currently located. So yellow will also move to the town center. And he's really happy that he still will be able to give away his 2 berries there in order to build this hut to the right. Let's reveal the next one. And so yellow is also 1/3 on the road of victory. And I really love the components in this game a lot. They're so damn cute here. The guy who needed some berries, he's eating berries. Really, really nice to look at. Even though we also revealed only 1 tile, we would have to put it face down. And then he still needs to swap positions. Let's go for the town tile. But I think everyone is paying attention where this most important town tile currently is, or town center tile currently is. So I think it's really hard to misdirect players on those tokens when you're only exchanging 2 of those. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, what there is to know around my first Stone Age. Maybe I should explain how you can steal those dogs. So let's just consider the situation that there is no dog available. So all of those dogs are with some of those players. Then yellow would go there. He's feeling very sad. Hey, where are my dogs? And then he's allowed to steal a dog from another player. And here's a very good rule, especially when playing with kids. You are not allowed to choose from where you steal those dogs. You can only steal a dog from the player who would be next in turn order. So in this case, yellow player would be the guy who would be able to steal a dog. So he could not go to the pink player here and steal the dog. No, he has to go to the blue player. This way, there will be no situation where your kids are complaining, oh, why are you always stealing from me and da da da. I think you get the idea. Yeah, and I think this brings me to the end of my little walkthrough of my first Stone Age. It's really a fun game. You can enjoy it with your kids. I think even 7-year-olds will definitely enjoy it. At least my 7-year-old kid does like it a lot. He's an relatively experienced player, so we can play it a little bit meaner, so we are allowed to grab huts from the other players. Sometimes he's also complaining, of course, but again, this is really a lot of fun. Of course, playing it with older kids, I think it really gets a little bit dull for those, but we really enjoyed it a lot. The components are really nice, so I like them a lot. The rules are easily explained. The game lasts maybe for 15-20 minutes, so you can easily play 2-3 games within an hour, so that's really not a problem. But keep in mind, this is really not Stone Age, it's really a kids game, and it really clearly says here you can play it as of 5 years, but you can really enjoy it a lot as some kind of a very lightweight family game. I really hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough here. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and yeah, until then, bye bye.